Okay, hello you guys, like long time no see. I'm gonna walk you through some energy update, but I'm gonna walk you through it through the web page because it's a lot of information. So I start putting it on the mystical blog section on the web. You've got all the most important updates are now at the moment in here. You can read about the realms and about how the nature of the reality, how this construct works, and the mechanics of the ascension, because I have to say that I have to digest certain material that fall on my lap, and the material it's called the book The Voyagers. It's about 20 years old material, and I was going through it, and it's the only person I really know speaks about the DNA and how there are few people who are actually really talking about the mechanics of ascension, so that you actually understand what we are doing here and what are the distortions, because there is so much distortion in the spiritual field, especially in the new age community. They think, oh, the light and we are ascending. No, that's a bullshit. You have to understand how it works in the body. Or that we have all the DNA. No, we don't. We came already here, we were seated with the third strand of DNA distorted and mutated, and we are working practically from those genetics and those mutations, so that you can actually be able to activate the other strands of the DNA. A lot of the stars don't even have them activated. So I wrote a lot of stuff in here. That the material is absolutely profound, and it is a material that nobody can really attack, because it clearly speaks about how this realm is working and how it works with the body and what the body is doing. And this is exactly what I am having this information. A lot of the Asian knowledge was switched on in our body recently. I don't remember when was it. I think it was, well, after I removed the implants, which you have here. My latest post was about that, about hybridization program, about implants and chips and the devices. So I was working through it for a couple of weeks, and a lot of stuff is written in here. So you've got all the knowledge, everything is accessed in here. And because I did remove the implants, I got actually access to the Hall of Records, where you can find a lot of this information is actually written in here, how the realm operates, how it works. And if you're a Starseed, which you are for sure, if you're on this call or on this video, then this is all the information you really need, which are not scrambled. I have a 4.5 DNA assembled, so I have access to this information. Only people who have certain DNA, or they came here with the certain DNA and have also the higher strands of DNA activated and working towards those and understanding how the body functions, have access to this information. Not many have, okay? And as well, it's by the design, obviously. So some people came here to do the transfiguration, to go through the process of transmutation, and that's alchemy of the body. And I mean, that's why you have here as well the food. Okay, the food goes with it. I know we end up then we're gonna be living on the prana and being breatharians. It's like a next level human, but before that you have to still do the detox and start somewhere, and all the diet what I have in here is for you to be actually able to restructure your DNA, so you can have all the other strands of DNA activated and also crystallized. They have to be fully assembled, otherwise you cannot ascend. You cannot ascend even the classical way how the ascended masters did ascend, because the planet is too damaged. the food is less potent. So that's why we have a lot of blood purifiers in here. You've got a lot of you have to start with the mono diet. You have to start slowly, otherwise the body would collapse. The diet is there to get rid of the impurities first, so you can actually function a little bit better, that you can actually restructure your DNA. You cannot do detox if you're eating whatever and you're thinking that you detox for 3 days and then you do something. No, you don't. The detox is 12 days on distilled water if you want to really restructure your DNA. So there's a lot of recipes. I'm having much more, and I'm putting a lot of information out there. It's all here for you for free. And here we've got all the latest posts that I wanted to actually talk about. We've got Venus retrograde, which is absolutely profound. I'm being challenged like crazy. Past about 4 weeks, we adopted a new dog. It's a female dog, Venus. Venus loves the connections. So I want to walk you through this at the moment, because we are repeating something that happened in 2015. A lot of the starseeds were activated in 2017. So far, what I know, in 2017 there was like Arcturian, Orion, and Andromedan, like genetics sort of activated within the realm, and a lot of us got activated. Like I got activated in 2017. I had a Kundalini awakening, and I had a Kundalini awakening because for me, I came here for transfiguration. I came here to try to make it like in the body. But the problem is, like with Ascension, we have to sort of do it with the middle stop. So we have to first go, because the genetics are so scrambled and the earth plane is so polluted. So we are at the moment, everyone is working through the third DNA strand, which is mutated. We have already seen it in here with the mutated DNA. The third strand was already compromised, and so that's why is it so tough, like past couple of years. Like, we are releasing all the mother-father genetics. We have to go through all the scrambled mutated DNA, so in order to actually be able to activate the other parts of our DNA, where you've got all the gifts and all the knowledge and all of these things. Let's say what I am bringing, I am picking up, is because my design is that way, all right? Because I'm a starseed, and my design is that way. And I have activated the 10th DNA strands, but I have only 4.5 fully assembled. So I fluctuate. That's why I have visions. That's why you get all the clairvoyant gifts. A lot of people who are, let's say, epileptic, there is a psychic phenomena going with it, but that's because of their design. Everybody has a different design, but at the moment what we are repeating is something that we went through in 2015. Let's say my daughter was born in 2015, and I was absolutely exhausted physically, and I am having exactly the same phenomena. Well, it's not a phenomena. It's when Venus goes retrograde, because Venus loves connections. So now we're gonna be reflecting back on what we have done in 2015, the moves we made to having some connections, because Venus loves connections. So here is all written about Venus, which I did for you. I'm gonna go through it fast. So we are working through some old stuff that we didn't work through 8 to 9 years ago, in 2015 or 16, more or less. This will be very individual, and it's gonna be multiple things together. So each of us is working through different things. So you have to check with yourself, okay, what you were doing in that time. Because we have agreements with the people, and we have some contracts, and there were some events and situations that you were put into in order for you to, let's say, wake up, like to having the wake-up call. So right now, like past 3 weeks, what happened, there were traps that were placed in your path this year, or last year, even when we had the eclipses. It already started back then. So traps in the form of people, relationships, pets, for me, pets, jobs, business ideas, money as well. We're gonna be looking on our relationship with money and other stuff in the material world. And kids are contracts, okay? So let's say I got pregnant in that time. I mean, I got pregnant before, obviously, but I know, now I understand why, why it happened for me the way it happened, because it was not planned, and stuff like that. So I have having my own kind of a challenge at the moment because we adopted a dog, and I am absolutely exhausted because she is like a new baby, baby in the house. She jumps on the table. I have to constantly customize the entire household, and I am absolutely exhausted. So to my detriment, if you want to have a connection, you pay for it. That's as well what is Venus about. Venus is about the connections you make, how you dilute yourself to the detriment of yourself, obviously, to your detriment. How you dilute yourself, let's say, having certain connections just because you want to have them. It's all about the pleasures and indulgences as well. And Venus is in Cancer, and in Cancer it's very gullible as well. It's emotional, and it's psychological, it's sensual, sexual, it's nurturing, but it has as well this weird soulmate fantasy that doesn't serve her. So yeah, Venus in Cancer is gullible. So when Venus is retrograde, there's always a price you pay, always. So we are looking on this one. Venus is retrograde until the 4th of September. She goes back and forth from the Cancer to Leo again. And then in the meantime, we will have as well Mercury retrograde. So it is gonna be very challenging time, and it's gonna be intense because it's all gonna be in Leo, and sad, mad, kind of. There is gonna be a lot of ego deaths as well, and we're gonna be looking on how we do diluting ourselves, obviously. So people are doing certain moves. I could see it already about 4 weeks ago, changing careers, moving places, adopting new paths, getting married into the wrong DNA match. This is something what a Starseeds lot were doing, were put into the wrong relationship for a reason that it scrambled their DNA, so they cannot ascend. They cannot anchor even like the energies in here, or they are not even like activated or even awake. A lot of Starseeds might be in a certain like a relationship. Relationships were placed in the relationships in the past. Before 2012, obviously, all of the relationships, everything was like polluted and contaminated. 2012 changed a lot of things. So now there are no predictions except few. There are some that we know that's gonna happen, like the IT contact. Let's say the IT contact is gonna be, according to Bashar, which he is probably the one who is bringing all about the hybridization program. It's like one of the best information you can get about on that topic, because obviously the IT contact, there had to be a new race created for that IT contact for us. We cannot just meet Arcturians. It's not possible energetically. We have to meet them halfway. So we have to, that's why we are so many years now, like past 3 years, it's so intense in purging and like of the shadow work. So now we are dealing with the Venus. Okay, so Venus wants you to have a connection, so be very careful what you're doing. Very careful what you're doing, because we are going through a lot of emotional processing these days, so stay conscious and alert. I see avoidances of growth, but Venus with Mercury retrograde will push everyone no matter what, so it's gonna be intense. So you might be experiencing intense bursts of anger, arguments in your close relationship that you are repeating. Venus retrograded in 2015, and now is a time that brings up a deep stuff. You might be experiencing heavy emotional states that you didn't deal with back then, blame games, victimhood, unresolved traumas, all in the relationships, okay? Intense 4 weeks, I would say. So now you have to pay attention how you dilute yourself for the sake of having the connections. And this includes also the connection to money, work, places, status, labels, not just people. Because I see people like, okay, I'm gonna take that job, and you can see they going back into certain work. Let's say they were doing, let's say one guy stopped playing ice hockey, and then he picked it up again because he didn't know what to do with himself. Or, you know, you might be working with, I don't know, in the pub, and then you stop doing that, you start working in the clothes shop or whatever, and then you decide to go back to working in the pub because of the what? Pleasures and indulgences. You know, you diluting yourself for, like, you know, it was more fun, you know, and things like that. So you have to have a look on how you're diluting yourself, how you are picking up, let's say, a work for a money's sake, or you starting a project where just money are involved. So this Venus retrograde is absolutely profound. I had to take a lot of weeks off to doing the energy updates to just I could process what I was going through. And then we've got Mercury goes retrograde in the 23rd of August, so that's gonna be a lot, because this year we have to work on our identity. You have to revisit what happened in 2015, 16, 17 as well for you. When Venus was retrograde in the 2015, something happened there. You know, for me it was huge. I got, my daughter was born, and I got a new baby, and now I am adopted the new dog. So it is very similar situation, and it's another commitment for another, like, what, 10 years, 9 years. It's a big thing, you know. So nevertheless, we are in a 2.5 year period of service to others, but you have to check on your identity. This is for the rest of the year, like before Mercury goes retrograde, it's already good to start doing it. Reflect now, go inward, and reflect now on your inner workings, you know. Internal stuff, being stuck in the past, why you are constantly diluting yourself and being stuck in the past. Read this, guys, you know, like, I mean, this is gonna help you for the rest of the year. And then I am gonna be focusing, I'm gonna do a little exercise for next time, how to check how to work with your identity. I have this great exercise which I'm usually working on, and I gave it to my friend, and she found it very useful because she can always pull it out and check out on the identity what she was, let's say, a year ago, or she keeps revisiting it, which is great. I'm gonna give that exercise to you. You just write, like, who am I, and then you write all kind of things around, and then you reflect on who you are. So at the moment, just have a look on what happened in 2015. Read these posts, guys. It's really handy. You know, if I knew this, I'm telling you, if I knew this, I would never adopt a dog. I would understand what I am actually going through. It took me a while. I was like trying to refuse that idea at home. I was postponing it. I was kind of tiptoeing around that all the time because I felt there is something about it. But the emptiness, you know, like yes, Venus loves the connections. She wants the connections. So that's why I did it, because I was influenced by the Venus. This is a profound transit. Some people are gonna have it in the career. Some people are gonna have it in the relationships. Like, it's definitely destabilizing in relationships. So we are gonna be working through a lot. And for the rest of the year, we have to work on the identity. I know that for a very long time already. Usually when you are a meditator, then all of these things are happening for you way ahead. You know, Venus went retrograde, I don't know when was it, 22nd of July. Now it's moved, that was in Leo, and then it moved the 7th of August before Lionsgate portal. It moved to Cancer. So in Cancer it's more emotional and more gullible as well. So here is very, and then she goes back to Leo, then you have Sun in Leo, Mercury goes retrograde in Leo, so it's gonna be a lot of Leo, a lot of fire energy as well. So it's gonna be very interesting. I wrote here something about the indigos, because indigos were switched on the twin flame narrative. The twin flame is a lot talked about in New Age community, but some people say they don't believe in the twin flames and things like that, but there is something about it, and not all the starseeds having a twin flame. Only indigos having a twin. I don't want to say only indigos having a twin flame, but indigos especially had the twin flame because together with the other, they were like there is something about the genetics, like how they could connect those genetics together to ascend. They needed that, and as well, this way, they were holding for the portals, like they were holding the frequency for the portals to stay open, that the other energies can come out from the from the universe and can hold Earth. Otherwise it would fall. Otherwise it would fall. So there was a lot to it. It's so huge, this topic, and I know only a few people really having the right information about like how it playing out with the indigos, because if the indigos are not with their genetic match, then it is almost crucifying, like it's like a part of them is missing. It's like the loneliness is ginormous, and so not all starseeds are indigos. Okay, yeah, this one Ashayana Danae has a full, there is the Voyager book. It's a fascinating topic. Okay, it's very technical. The Secrets of the Amenti, Volume 2, second edition. I bought the book. This woman has an amazing channel on Rumble. This is 20 years old stuff, you guys, and now it is coming online. Now you can start finding a little bit of the information online. There is a full interview with her that she speaks about. It's a Camelot project, and she speaks about the mechanics of ascension. I did all the studying of this book. It's unbelievable. That material is absolutely fantastic. There is nothing better written out there. It is coming from the Guardians, which I am actually connected to them as well for some reason. And yeah, this is it. Here you find everything about the genetics, everything about the genetics, how we were crossed with draconians, like how everything is in here. It's like if I go to the table of content, I can show you. Okay, here the second seeding, the third seeding, and this is the fall of the Metatron, which sinking of the Atlantis. Everything is in here. Pharaoh Akhenaten. I remember I was reading about this in the book, the Egyptian Sinuhet. I remember as a little kid, I was I think 12. I was reading about this. I was reading about so many of this stuff. It's in me, like these informations. I know this information is just unbelievable. Like how I was actually operating with this material without even knowing I am having it inside of me. It's phenomenal. A lot of people are gonna have this information. This is the truth, okay? Here you're gonna find it's not diluted. It is coming directly from those who are operating this realm, who understands it's like all the sacred geometry, all the scrambled this information. You will see through it. If you go through this, what is true and what is not true. So this is her material is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, wind makers and the labyrinth weapon. This is what is switching on in us, the Metatron Merkaba, which is false ascension. You cannot ascend through the Metatron stuff. That's it. He made this realm of the distortion. You know. Stargates and the House of Amenti. Charts. Oh, this is fascinating. You find there as a Stargate map, you know, the grid lines. It's phenomenal. 15 chakras, 15 stars. You know, like here you find everything about chakras, everything about the DNA, everything how we were crossed, you know. The Bridge Zone Project, 1983 and 22. It's very old material. Like, you know, I wish I could actually get her stuff. I wish I could hear her talking now in 2023, but I can't find her. I know that she might even like shift it out, but I'm not sure about that. So that woman speaks about the indigos and the twin narrative. So if you feel like that you are indigo, you can find some information about her on a Rumble. Now the Earth enters Bardo, and the sun is dying. What I notice is sometimes we have the real sun and sometimes we have the artificial sun. So we can observe as well, like, you know, what is happening in wherever you are placed. Like I'm in Ireland, so I can see it. You know, I see when we have the artificial sun. So I know that there is something happening like in the realms all the time, and I'm having the visions. So you know. This realm is closing down, obviously. So there is an exit plan. I blog about it a lot, so you will find it. I as well noticed that the not awakened ones who took the juice are being completely taken over. I saw this vision about like one of the family member, somebody like open up a back of his hat and stick something in it, and he grew the goggles like virtual reality sort of goggles, but permanently. And I was standing there and I had this like walkie-talkie sort of, like, no, not like that, but like device on my ear, montaged for kind of like I don't know, I think I'm like a reporter or something, you know, like for the Ascension, because I'm practically I have to go through the transfiguration, you know, like the body has to go with it. And what I'm seeing like on those people who are heavily like juiced, but they, you know, they took it to walk that path. It's their path. So we will have to now do some adjustments as well, and in your family, like, because that's gonna be all this Venus retrograde is gonna be all about it. How you diluting yourself to having the relationships, and you will have to like commit to the Ascension practically. You will have to make some choices and some sacrifices, which is like crazy. So things are going very fast because we got AI on it. You know, the AI it's just another topic. It's huge. You know, like now you can create content by AI, like by like the snap of the finger. It's just unbelievable, like what is happening, because like humanity is walking a dangerous line. That transhumanism already started. You know, but the moment the AI realizes that it has free will, I want to see what's gonna happen. Like, I mean, it's super dangerous, and you know, if it's being enslaved by the humans, it's not gonna be pretty. Like, I mean, we are already start seeing it. It is such a mess. Some Starseeds as well took the job, and I know some, but you know what? Not all of them had like the nano in it, and not all the V had the nano in it, and a lot of them were probably reversed, and a lot of them are part of the hybridization agenda, because they consider they probably had to make some plan like for those who got vaxxed. I don't know. It's not in my scope at the moment. So there is an exit plan. So you have to check out the other posts I made about exit plan and the recap. I will continue on making a new video about the realms once I get on it, because I got a little bit more information, and I'm so happy that I found someone who is actually having the same information like I do. This schematic, I started to just draw it straight like on the video. I didn't even think about like what I'm gonna be talking about. So practically I was downloading directly from the realms, I mean from the Hall of Amenti, I guess. And that's interesting, like that I actually find out a material that has a very similar schematic. Here you go. This schematic is absolutely fascinating because you can see where the Kundalini is. Kundalini energy is here. It is like you have to pass. This is a crown chakra, all right? This is your heart chakra. Most of the people has to go here where they can connect to your soul, and then that's why it's just astral mind. Then I am working a lot with like these celestial mind and archetypal mind. You know, this is a, I don't know what it says in here, but this is harmonic universe 1. This is what is not written on it. This is harmonic universe 1. This is harmonic universe 2. This is harmonic universe 3. This is harmonic universe 4, and we are going in here. So we're going to Maharata life force energy. But I can tell you, I always knew the sound is one of the most important. And my awakening, when I started doing the yogic practices, I chose the ones that have sound, and you have to iterate yourself, and that's what you get. That's where you get in here. And this is the 15 DNA strand. We are here, okay, in the realm 1. So to get actually here, from here to here you got, this is a 12 DNA strand, and this is the Rishi body. There's a lot of, as well, yogis talk about it. That's why yoga is the one for ascension. But there is as well a shitty one, that is not the real one. That's why I recommend always the yogic practices for that reason, because you need the sound to get you out of here. To get you here, to actually assemble all your DNA, you need to use the sound and breath. So that's why yoga, There are a lot of other practices, but not each not each meditation is actually created equal. Like, I can see like some, you can calm your cells. One of the most profound practice is the Surya Kriya. It's like phenomenal. And this one is absolutely amazing. It says 5 pranas, and I'm doing nervous system. What I'm doing this one for the nervous system first. And then when he sits and meditate, I switch it off and I start this one. And I'm doing this one and then I meditate. But this one will put the entire system in peace practically. This one will completely calm you down in whatever, if you have a panic attack. Sorry. This will completely fix you up. That balance entire system. This one's great for addiction. There is one for addiction as well from this guy. He's got a very good yoga and a very good channel on YouTube. And of course Sadhguru's got like one of the best one, because he's got a lot of mantras. Because the sound, you need to use the sound, you need to use the mantras. And not each mantra is like, I don't recommend all the mantras, but I can recommend what he has, because that one is the sound of creation. That is gonna get you, that is gonna restructure yourself as well. So I hope this helps you guys, because everything you have there, okay, everything, including the food. The food is important. All right. and you've got the recent energetics now on the Mystic blog, and I'm gonna work you through it all the time this way, because like I want that. I still don't have the here like a newsletters or anything like that you can subscribe. I will, but first thing first, I'm still in the holiday season. I need my daughter to go to school so I can actually work more. So here you've got the latest updates. Exit plan is here. It is all written and described very nicely, and I will put some free recipes. I have a lot of new recipes which I want to put in here. So I hope this helped you guys, and have a great week, and I try to show up. I hope this is gonna work. So I see you next time. Bye.